We all have the power to create our own storyline.
Some of these will seem really obvious, but that's the point, because looking after your mental health does not have to be complicated.
Be one step ahead of your opponent.
And if you are facing some big challenges, you have the beginnings to a fantastic story. And we have the power to create an amazing middle and a remarkable end.
We have a brilliant lineup of speakers today who can tackle the most in-demand topic that celebrity speakers is currently facing, which is all around mental health, resilience, and mindset. So, without further ado, I'd love to introduce our first speaker, Shane Cameron.
And I fought an American guy, Friday Ahunanya. Got to the last round, the 12th round. I was cut over this eye, I was cut over that eye, cut up the middle and cut under here. It was a hard night at the office. I got dropped on the canvas in the 12th round, got back up. The blood was streaming through my eyes, got dropped on the canvas again. The referee stopped the fight. I thought my world had ended. At that time I was like, oh, I lost. But as time went on, it's one of my favourite sayings. It's not how you fall, it's how you rise. Not just in the boxing ring, but in life.
Our next speaker this evening is Jemarl Mora, who is a beacon of hope for those battling mental illness.
You cannot pour from an empty cup, and self-care is most definitely not selfish. Your story could be the key that unlocks someone else's prison. I was living a life of fear. I genuinely believed that my life was in danger, that someone was out to hurt me. And as soon as I got into bed, I had this feeling, this thought come over me that I must get out of my bed and check my room to make sure I was safe. So I got out of bed, I checked under my bed, I checked my cupboards, I checked my curtains, I checked my drawers, I checked my roof, I checked the windows were locked. I checked everywhere I possibly could check. And when I got back into bed, I instantly felt this relief, this safety. I'd been in the bathroom one day, opening and closing the same drawer for 30 minutes. My mind told me I wasn't allowed to leave the bathroom until it made a perfect sound. God knows what a perfect sound was, but my brain knew, and it wasn't letting me leave until I'd done that. My road to healing was a long, long journey, hours and hours of therapy, lots of support from those around me. Medication was something I chose to take. Talking about my feelings, realizing that shame cannot survive vulnerability, speaking to people like you has all been part of my healing journey. There is so much stigma, there is a lack of awareness, a lack of education, and so to be in a position now where I get to use my story to help others is something younger 14-year-old Jen could only dream of.
Here to share his journey with us and teach us how to nurture the hinengaro, the mind, the tinana, body, and the wairoa, your soul. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Jemarl Paerata.
And I want you to know that it's never too late to go after a big vision. I was a professional firefighter, a position I'd held for almost 20 years. And even though I look happy in this photo, at the time I was deeply unhappy. I was unmotivated, disconnected and depressed. I reverted back to one of my habitual patterns of behaviour, one that I always reverted back to when times got tough, and that was to bury all of my emotions and my feelings. And in my darkest hour, I had a vision of my son. And in this vision, he was in my arms and he held onto my pounamu and he said, "Dad, I love you." And in that moment, I knew that I had to take responsibility for this negative reality. I made a conscious decision that I was going to let go of anger, resentment, and blame. And I decided I'd come from a place of love, understanding, and compassion.
I competed for New Zealand at the Olympics in the heptathlon. And in many ways now, my life as a mum, as an MC, as a wife, as a commentator, truth be told, my life is still a heptathlon. I'm drawing on those lessons of how I can be my best at whatever I'm doing.
Never stop learning, it's the best part.
And one of the most important lessons I learned throughout my journey is that people can only help you with the information you're giving them.
If you think you know everything, well, that's probably where you've stopped learning right there.
When you feel nervous, anxious, and out of your depth, I want you to know that in that moment of uncomfortable chaos, I believe wholeheartedly you're in the right place.